everybody, it's Doug here, getting ready for our next episode of Middara. And we made it through our first full round of turns and actions without any significant issues, which was pretty awesome because it was the first time I've played the game ever. And as much as there are many rules in the game, the game actually plays rather smoothly, so that's nice to see. I'm enjoying it, actually. It's pretty cool, and we're about to get into round 2. We completed round 1. We had one of the cave sickles basically dump itself into the hole trying to jump over it, which was awesome. It scrambled at the edge, tried to climb back up, but instead fell into the deep hole and perished. That was pretty fun to see. Alright, but we're going to get ready to continue our next turn because we need to get to these objectives up here and ultimately get to the exit in as timely a fashion as possible. Because as you recall, if you go back to the first episode, and I made comment of this in the second episode as well, these characters of Remy, Zeke, Nightingale, and Rook are basically in a test called the Mast. And this test is to gauge whether or not they're capable of becoming citizens of Middara, and that's what they're trying to do in this. Now, Remy's sister has set them on this course, and even though she didn't give them any real favoritism, she did put together a good group of heroes that can help defend each other, and that's where we're at right now. So we're going to get started right away with Remy's turn. One thing I did want to say, just for rules clarifications, I didn't do anything wrong, but I just want to tell you about it. When I was debating on whether or not Nightingale was going to pass through Remy here, Remy is on difficult terrain. When you enter difficult terrain, it takes 2 to exit it. So I was concerned that maybe, because it also takes 2 to exit a space with another character in it, I thought it might take 4 to cross over, but it doesn't. They don't stack. It's just 2. So if I moved here, if she moved here, it would have taken her 2. Of course, he wasn't there at the time, to move 1 more, just for clarity of rules. Okay, but let's get on with this. We're going to start with Remy's turn. She is first up, and she is going to basically, I think, take on that cave sickle and get it done. Now, Remy has a lot of stamina because she only used 1 last turn to get around the corner and didn't really attack or anything. So now also, if I'm going to dodge, I got to declare it before I do that. So that's kind of I think that's weird. You should be able to, oh, I'm getting attacked, I'm going to dodge, but it doesn't work that way. Anyway, we got a lot of stamina, so I think she's going to be able to kill us. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to spend a stamina to move. Any stamina you had from the previous round will carry over the next round to a maximum of 5, just for clarity. But we're going to go, I think we're going to do this. We're going to go 1, 2, and 3. That's it. That's all she's going to do is move right to there. She's kind of clearing the path for some other folks, mainly Rook, so he can get up there and push that boulder aside. And I don't think, that is not going to give her line of sight to that totem, but she is going to knock that guy down there with an attack. Let's look at what she can do. So here is Remy in the cave sickle. She does have her hammer helm ability, which has a passive of +1 physical damage if she hits. And what is she going to attack with? Well, we're going to attack with our war axe. I don't think her other items actually help her with that. They don't. They help her with defense. So on her war axe, as you can see on the card, she gets 2 white dice. That's pretty good. We can empower it, and I might as well, since I have all this extra stamina. So she's going to empower the attack she's going to do on this thing. And I can also exhaust it. It says when determining damage, the weapon gains 1 physical damage for every book that you hit with the attack. So let's do that too. Why not? Let's just go all out. We want to kill the thing anyway, right? So now our books count as well. And we also have this. We can exhaust this as well. When making an attack, if you have a 2-handed weapon equipped, you may reroll any dice in dice pool, so we could get lucky. That includes this die if it comes up a skull. Let's see what we get. Well, that was really pitiful, pathetic, terrible. We're definitely going to do a reroll, but we do got a lot of damage coming if we hit. And we got to get to an 8. That is the defense. So we're at a 4 right now. This is a 6. We're going to reroll this one using her ability. We're going to exhaust this and use it to reroll. A 3. That's a 7. So I'm afraid that is not going to help us. Does she have anything else? Because we, I'm sorry, she exhausted this to get the books, but she exhausted this to get the reroll, and it didn't happen. That is a real shame, and there's really nothing that we can do to avoid that. So, wow, that was a waste. Oh well. Would have been great. We had a lot of damage, and she only used 2 of her stamina. So, I think we're going to declare one of them She has 3 left. We're going to declare 1 for a dodge. I think we're just going to make sure we can dodge just in case we're attacked. We may not be, but that's going to be it for her. That kind of sucks. Nightingale is up next, and I think she's going to make a move first, so she's got 3 stamina. We're going to move her. She will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to right there, where she will attack that cave sickle as well. Now, what's she going to use? Well, she's got her longsword, so she can use that. And it says if we have a light item that we can get finesse. Well, guess what? She does. Her magic talisman, which will also give her purple die in combat, is light, which means that we're going to have a purple die and a white die in that attack, or orange die rather, in that attack. And that's pretty cool because the orange dice are better, and there's an orange die. Let's go down to her sheet and take a look. Now, she does not have any rerolls, and this is going to be her dice pool right there, purple and orange. She should hit... I'm debating, does she want to spend a point to empower the die? I think we might as well do that. Let's see, because I want to kill this thing. This would be good. Now, I think she might be in range of seeing this totem. We'll have to see. Let's roll and see what we get. Wow, we are just rolling absolutely pathetically. That's 7, of course, right? Now, can she do anything? Let's see. No, if we had a combo sword, we could get +1 physical damage. We don't. Does she have anything that will allow her to reroll? She does not. Yeah, she just flat out missed, but we do have another stamina, so she might as well spend it. She won't get the empowered attack, but we'll get to roll again. So she just missed. There we go. An 11. Now we're talking. It took her all her stamina to do this, but she's going to get him. 11. Now, what do we get? Well, we have our 2 items. So we get 1 for every 2 books. We happen to have 3 books, so it's going to be 8, 9, 10, 11. Remember, we had to get over an 8 just to hit. So we know we're already at 3 because that's 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we're at 3 points of damage right now. For every 2 books, we get +1 magic damage. I think that applies to this attack as well, if I'm not mistaken. So that would be 1, 2, 3. So that would be another point of damage. So that's only 4. Not enough to kill him, but you know what? I'll take it. That is 4 on the cave sickle. So that is going to be this cave sickle here. So 3, and I need another little token for that. There's lots and lots of tokens for damage here. I just need to get one that's not a 10. There we go. Got a little 1 here. And that will put it at 4 damage. And then, of course, end her turn. There's really nothing that she could have done to exhaust or done anything like that. And I think that's it. She doesn't need to do anything else with any of her other stuff. So that's going to be it for her. She has exhausted all of her attacks and abilities and well, done them all anyway. And that is going to be the end of her round. Okay, let's continue on. Well, next up is Rook. Now, I didn't really want Rook to be the guy that does this guy in. He also has some movement penalties because he's going to have to. So he's going to have to spend. Now he has 5 total stamina as well. He did pretty because he didn't do much last turn. So we're going to use 1 to move, and I think we might need to use another 1 to boost his movement too. Let's see. He goes 1, 2, 3. No, we're going to get there. 4 and 5. He's moving right into space. He's got 5 exactly. Now, he normally has 6, but because of his Warhammers, he's heavy, and he passed through difficult terrain. But he does get right up to the cave sickle that is just really surviving and managing to block their way. Oh, but before we do that, I need to check something. Nope, we still are not in line of sight of that yet. Interesting. I guess the point is you got to get past that boulder, and we haven't done that yet. Okay. Well, let's go on now and see how he's going to do in this. Hopefully this should be the end of the cave sickle. Okay, we got our hammers. Let's get those out. Boom. Right there. Do we got anything else that we can use for this? No, nothing else is going to help him with this part. But we do have these 2 hammers. We can exhaust them to empower. So first off, they're going to be white dice. That's fine. We got 2 white dice on the attack, 1 for each of the hammers. They're both one-handed weapons. We can exhaust 1 to empower it. We will do that. This is going to take 2 of his stamina, so now we have 1 left. We had 5 actually, so we have 2 left. Okay, we're going to have 2 left after this attack. Let's see, and that is, now he's got a bunch of things going on here. For combo, it says if you have 2 Warhammers equipped, they're heavy. Okay, so we already know that. That's okay. That's not going to really help us in this situation other than we need to blast this guy. Wow, just rolling a 7 every time we roll. I don't know what to think of that. Do I have anything that can allow him to re-roll? I do not, so he's just going to miss with that. Okay, he missed. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, I'm 1 away from rolling 8. There's lots of big numbers on these dice, too. Okay, anyway, we're going to do the same thing again. We'll tap this one out so we can empower it. Roll again. There we go. 7, 8, 9. That's just enough to hit. So with 9, we will hit and do 1 point of damage. Now, let's look at his weapons. His hammers do 1 per 2 shields and 1 per star. Okay, so here's what we got. We got 2 shields there, so right now we've done 1. We have 2 shields here, that's 2, and we have 1 star, that's 3. So that's a total of 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3. 3, but that's going to be enough because he's already got 4 points of damage on him, so that's going to put him up to 6 and do him in. Just barely, but we did do him in. Unfortunately, we had to use all of Rook's weapons to do that. And while he's there, I don't think he's going to hold on to these heals. Remember, Nightingale has some damage on her, but it's okay. Now that was the last of the cave sickles. It got blasted away. It is dead, so we'll take that off the board. And as a result of that, it also was the last of the ones on that particular group. So that means because he killed the swarm, he's going to get a loot. Let's see what he gets. 6 gold for Rook. Now again, not a crisis. The money pulls together at the end. It's only items that we worry about. But that, again, we're going to mark the end of the round. I want to make sure I pull another time token. Let's see, where are those in my big pile of many, many tokens? There they go. Okay, so we're going to take another time token because we have reached the end of the round. We're going to do all the cleanup and everything like that, blah, blah, blah. Not much to do there. End of round. And we're going to go wrap back around, okay. No, wait, now let me just check. Just want to be sure. No, we're still not in line of sight for that. Okay, we're going to... Rook's got to get over there, but I think it's going to be... Remy that's going to make it across the other side first. So let's take a look at our actions now. So we're going to resolve any starting abilities. We don't have anything to worry about that. Statuses, we don't have any statuses. Refresh. Okay, everybody's going to refresh all their exhausted items. So Rook's hammers are no longer tapped out. Hammer fell comes back for Remy. Plus her axe is no longer tapped out. And his short swords are good. So, and his blade work is all back. We're back in... Oh, you know what? I didn't do Zeke. Well, it's okay because all he can do really is move. He doesn't want to get in front of Rook because he wants Rook's the strongest. Well, let me look at this. He's got a strength is 4 actually. It's the same as Rook's is a little better, but it's okay. Let's do this. We didn't end the turn yet. I have to do Zeke's turn first. So he's going to spend a point. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to spend 2 stamina, 5, 6, 7. That'll put him there. And then he's going to attempt a skill check. Now, skill check means that we're going to roll 2 purple dice, and we have to accomplish something. So let me get out the thing about the barrier in the book here. We got the big old book, and it says, and I'm glad I almost forgot Zeke. Poor Zeke. Anyway, it says movable rock. So... An adventurer adjacent to the obstructing rock as encounter has to make a strength 10 skill check. Okay, so he has a strength of 4. We're going to roll these dice and see if he can move that block out of the way. Let's see. Come on. 7, 8, 9, 10 plus his strength of 4. We did it. Boom. We plummet this into the chasm. It is gone. All right. That is the end of that. We got rid of the blocking obstruction. Now we can move through it without any penalties. Now that's actually the end of the turn, guys. That is the end of the turn. Now, just making sure I do a little cleanup before we get started with the next round. Okay, now we would have been back around. It's 2 turns in, etc. And the obstacle is cleared from our path. All right. Okay, I just took a moment to reset as I'm managing 4 characters. And as with all their gear and everything, it's pretty difficult. All right, we're going to get back with Remy now. Remy has exactly 3... stamina, so she's going to spend 2 of her stamina to fly. Natural flight. I mean, she's going to get to move across. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that will put her in place to see this totem. So let's get the book out and the little reader and see what happens when we discover the red totem. I'm going to guess we're going to see more enemies and all that good stuff. But let's get it out and see what happens. All right. Okay, let's see. I got a light on this so we can see it a little clearer. It says, as you round the corner, you see a handful of cave sickles skittering about. They spring into action when they notice you. The cave sickles are blocking the path that leads deeper into the caves. Spawn 2 cave sickles adjacent to the space with the totem across the gap. You see another cave sickle emerging from a small, you see another you see another cave sickle emerge from near a small box. Spawn 1 more cave sickle adjacent to the blue loot token. Okay, easy enough to do, right? Let's go do that. Easier to do than to read. So my lighting in here, just the red, I can read it, but when it's on camera and I have to get close to it, it's kind of dark. So anyway, let's go do that. We have to spawn next to this, so we'll spawn 1 here and 1 here. That makes sense. We'll remove the orange token. We don't need it anymore. There's 2, and then there's 1 from a different group. So as I look at this, I'll say the red one is going to be over here. Since we haven't had the red one out, we'll just put it right there. It emerged from this little cavern. And that is going to be what happens. So we uncover these guys. Now we have to deal with them. Uh-oh, Remy, you weren't ready for this, were you? Well, she has 1 stamina left. What can she do with that? She can cast a spell, but she's already got some damage. She can, let me see, she's got some daggers, right? No, she doesn't. I think she's going to prepare to dodge. She'll use her last stamina to dodge because we don't know when these guys are going to fall into the track. We have to put them back into the initiative track now and see how that works out for us. Okay, the 2 at the top are cave sickles, 4 through 6. Let's see where they fall. 3, so they're going to go. Let's see, here's where Remy. 1, 2, and 3. They're at the end again. I think that's going to happen a lot. I don't know. It just seems like that's the way it's going to go. And then 4. So they're actually going to be farther back. No, 3 again. So it's like that. Okay, well, there you have it. They're at the end again, which that's kind of, I guess that mechanic works. I guess maybe as we explore, maybe that's intentional, but maybe as we explore further, it'll make more sense. But we're not actually done with Nightingale's turn. She does have something she could do, I suppose. She can't move anymore, that's for sure. But she could throw her spell. I do think she's just going to prepare. See, I could exhaust this to dodge. I'm not worried about it. She doesn't need to do that. She's going to conserve that. That'll give her 4 stamina next turn, which will be interesting. So she's just going to pause there. She can't really get up to him or do anything. But that's okay, because Nightingale's going to go next. I'm sorry, that was Remy's who's got... She couldn't do anything anyway. She didn't have any... Well, she could. We were pretty close to the end. Does she want to throw one of her daggers? We could throw a dagger. We might even kill one. Let's do it. We're going to toss a dagger. It'll burn this card. Mundane consumable right here. It says dagger, discard to throw a purple die. We're going to throw it at him. You don't have to hit or anything. You just roll purple die and do damage. Let's see what we get. A 2. Well, okay. Yeah. The cave sickle, the green cave sickle here is at 2 points of damage. I could do that again. I could throw my other one and see if we can kill it. I think we won't. We'll hold on to it. That was a fair thing to do. We did some damage to it. We'll see how it plays out. We did burn our dagger, though, so that is the end of that. So she threw one of her daggers and didn't do much else. Nightingale's turn. So Nightingale has 3 stamina. Yeah. Okay, she's right here. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. I guess she'll go right here. And, well, here's what she's going to do. She doesn't have a range on... I guess the range is line of sight of the spell. She can see this cave sickle up here. We could do our gore shot on it and see how that goes. Or she could just pause there. I think she'll just pause. No reason to... I mean, we're only 2 turns in and we've gotten most of this done. I think she'll just wait there and see if Rook and Zeke can take this guy on. Well, Rook, actually, he's not going to do very well because he's only got 5 movement. And Zeke will be able to get up there, but we'll see. I don't know. This could be a bad move. I don't have line of sight on these guys because I think that rock wall this rock here would block it. So the only one I could attack is this one anyway. Maybe what she'll do is leave some space. She's going to go right there instead and leave some space for our other guys. Okay, that's going to be the end of her turn. She'll just hold on to her stamina. That only cost her 1. So she will end up with 5 next turn. It's pretty good. And then we're going to go on to, let's see, it'll be Rook next. Rook only has a movement of 5, so this is going to cost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He will spend, yeah, he's going to spend another 1 to move 2 more. It'll go 1, 2, and he's adjacent to this one here, where he will attack the green one, which already has some damage on it. Okay, here we are with Rook. He's got his 2 hammers out. He's going to smash this guy with the 2 hammers. Let's see. So, so far he's got 2 white dice. I do think he will exhaust one of them to empower his die and see if we can kill it. Let's see if we can do it. Come on, buddy. Oh, an 11. Oh, yeah, this is going to destroy this guy. Look what we have here. Now, we've got 8. So 9, 10, 11. He's already got 3 damage right there, right? Against the Cave Sickle. That's not quite enough to kill it, but he also gets, for every 2 shields, he gets +1 damage. He's got 1, 2 right here. That's +1. That's 4 damage. 1, 2 here. That's 5 damage. That's going to be enough to kill that Cave Sickle. It is kaput. So the green one is dead. Boom. He killed it. Nice. Nice. Good job, Rook. We killed another Cave Sickle. And that's going to be the end of his turn. Now, he didn't exhaust the other one. He didn't need to. But that was the way that worked out. He also didn't need to use any of his other gear. So he is okay there. He also did not kill the swarm, because there's still one more Cave Sickle in that swarm. That is the blue one. That's going to end up the end of turn for Lars. Doesn't have anything else he can do or want to do. That's it. Now remember, you can't move diagonally, but you can always attack diagonally, unless you're Zeke, right? So we're going to take Zeke's first move. He's going to spend 1 stamina. He may spend more. I'll just got to check his movement here. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there. That's his total movement. And then he's going to use one of his weapons here, his short sword. Actually, he's going to use both of them. He's going to use both his short swords. He's going to exhaust them. Now, it doesn't mean he can't use them to attack. It just means he can't use the exhaust ability. To move diagonal twice, 1, and then 1 to here will put him in combat range of that Cave Sickle, and he's going to attack it. Okay, Zeke, we got to kill this thing. Let's see what he can do. He's got a bunch of stuff he can do here. So first off, he's got 2 purple dice, but again, because he's got combo light and both these are light, that turns each purple die into a white die. So he's got 2 white dice. That's good. That's as good as Rook has with his hammers. But he also has, let's see, he used his ability to move. He can also, he already exhausted them to move, so he can't use this other combo of re-rolling dice. That's kind of sucks. So it's just going to be a straight up attack. That's right. He's got another way to do an extra attack if he needs to. Let's see what he can accomplish. He will burn a stamina to empower the die. Let's see what he gets. Nice. That is enough to hit. That's a 9 plus some stuff, right? So he gets a bonus of 2 damage for... So right now he's got a 9. That means he's doing 1 point of damage. He's got 2 shields here. That gives him 2. Remember? 2 shields, 2 physical damage. So that puts him at a 3. He's got 2 shields, 2 physical damage, puts him at a 5. Not quite enough to kill the Cave Sickle, but he might still be able to do it. He's going to, so right now he's got a 5 on the Cave Sickle. I don't have enough damage tokens out right now, but I know he's got a 5 on it, and I'll get another one out. Just a sec. Let's see. He's got 5 on the blue Cave Sickle. That was his first attack. Now he's going to use his Blade Works and exhaust that. It says if you have 2 one-handed weapons equipped, you can make an attack. So he's going to do that. And that's going to be the same thing. He'll use his last stamina to empower that. Oh, wait. Sorry. He can't do that. This is just a free attack. He used all his stamina last turn. He can't do that. In fact, he couldn't have empowered that. And I had 2 shields on that empowered die, so he would not have done that extra damage. It just would have been 4. Apologies. I realized he only had 3 stamina, so if he moved and attacked, that was all 3. Attacks are not 1. They're 2. Okay, let's do that. But he can do his Blade Works to attack again. And, oh, he missed. Oh, wait. Sorry. Rerolling the black die. No point in doing that. It's just these 2. Okay, he rolled a 9, so he did 1 more point of damage to it. Actually did not kill it. But he did do quite a bit to it, and I think that what we can do there with Zeke is this does not require anything but the use of the item. He's going to throw, as his last momentum, last thing he's going to do is going to throw one of these daggers at it. Why not? Let's get it killed. A 1. Oh my gosh. 3, 4, 5. That is just enough to kill it, and we burned another dagger doing it. But he did kill the cave sickle with 1 more point of damage. That comes off the board. And that gives Zeke his second loot. That's the second guy he's killed. He seems to kill things a lot. Okay, what do we get? A unique loot! That is awesome. Let's take a look at that. What does a unique loot give him? Okay, well, here are the rare, mundane, unique things, right? So I'm going to give him a quick shuffle. And I'm not looking at him. And then I'm going to draw the one from the bottom. Seems like the right thing to do. That's going to be his unique item. That's pretty cool. He got a unique loot. Let's see. Oops, drop that one. Let's see what he gets here. It'll be really interesting to find out. I'm super excited. I haven't seen these yet. It's going to be mundane, but that means it's not going to be as powerful as some of this stuff. But that's okay. Okay, one more cut. Let's see. And what do we get? We get the Wand of Hindsight. Mundane Unique Relic. Okay. What does it do? It, wow. It does purple dye. It does this. It says combo. Casting upgrades to orange, exhaust at any time. It's a spell item. So he gets that. That goes into his stuff, but I think he'll probably want to give that away to maybe, I would probably say Nightingale, who does magic better. She's more of a magic caster. Well, I don't know, really. They all seem to be about the same to start with, but Zeke does really good with his swords. Anyway, that was his unique loot item. That's cool. Haven't had that happen yet, have we? And I'm going to put that in the discard pile here. The rest of it's been money. And that now, okay, now Zeke's turn is over, and we're going to go to, these cave sickles here are gone. So the only one left is Cave Sickle 1, and he's going to go now. So let's take a look at Cave Sickles, the Cave Sickles deal here. Is there an opponent adjacent? There is not. Is there an opponent within range 4? I believe so. 1, 2, 3. Yes, Zeke is within range 4. So he's going to attack Zeke. The whole thing now. Is there an opponent within range 4? Yes, there is. Zeke is within range 4. So we're going to do a ranged attack against Zeke. Zeke's defense is 9, plus he's got items. So let's see what happens here with this. A 6, an 8. I don't think that's going to hit. Does he get any bonuses? He does not get any bonuses. So this gives him a 10. Yeah, so the Cave Sickle missed in that attack. That's okay. Did not hit. But then, it says then, move to be adjacent to opponent with the most damage within movement range. Okay, well it can move 6, but it's going to have to jump the chasm. The one that's got the most damage is Nightingale. She's way back here, so she's not within range. Everybody else, it won't go to Rook then, so it's going to go to the one in initiative order, which I think, because it's still within range. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's going to go toward Remy, who is the highest in initiative order. And Remy and the ones that are within range all have enough health. She's the lowest. They're the same, so it will go after Remy. So it's going to go 1, 2, and it's going to have to jump that chasm again. A 4. No, it's okay. And a... Oh, yeah, diplomacy. I think you have to do it. I'm going to double check, but I do believe you have to do it for everyone that goes in there. Oh, wait, guys, I'm not even rolling. Not even showing you again. Hold on. Well, I'm not going to cheat. And every once in a while I get carried away with myself, and I don't reorient the camera. But we're going to move this guy. He's going to move toward Remy. 1, 2. He's going to have to jump here. He succeeds. He's going to have to jump again. He succeeds. So he gets to there. Actually, go right there, because then he's going to do... No, he's going to make a melee attack as a follow-up, so he's going to go there. So what happens next? Well, it says, then move to be adjacent to the opponent with the most damage within movement range. Well, Remy, they don't have any damage, so she's the one on the highest on initiative track. She's going to get it. Then make an attack roll as a follow-up and inflict poison, force 9. So we're going to have to make our first saving throw of the game with Remy. Remy did hold, remember, she didn't bother to, she was going to hold over something to exhaust, but she's got this. She's going to exhaust her occult shirt to dodge. That means when the Cave Sickle rolls its attack, it is now, I think it does have to succeed in the attack to actually do poison damage. We'll see. Anyway, she gets the black die as defense for her dodge. Let's see what it gets. A 5, a 9. Actually, I don't think that's going to hit Remy. Remy's got a 9 natural defense. The jacket, oh, it actually doesn't give her any defense. Does she have anything? Oh, but this does. The ability core gives her +1, so that's a 10. So she also got 1 more shield, which makes it 11, so it missed. I don't believe the poison effect will happen. It says then make an attack and then follow up with inflict poison. It says follow up. It's not part of the attack, so I'm going to have to say we have to do it. So this is where saving throws come into play. Now it's going to be a Force 9 saving throw for Remy. Remy has a conviction dice of 2 purple dice. That's how you make saving throws. Now I want to see if she has anything that would help her with that. I don't believe so. Yeah, she does not. So it's just going to be a straight up deal, and I'm going to double check on poison. I'm going to look in the book and just double check how that works, just to make sure that we're doing this correctly. It says poison. Yeah, I got to look up statuses. I thought, under tags, you'd think it would just be there too, because that would make some sense. Hold on. Actually, it says that if the attack if the follow-up is part of an attack and the attack misses, it has no effect. It says that right there. Bullet number 7 under the attack action. Missed attack ends. If the attack missed, the attack immediately ends and skips the follow-up step. So that poison effect did not happen, and Remy is okay. We don't have to worry about the poison after all. Yay. But, however, that does mark the end of the round. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this time token away, and we're going to say 3. There's also these things called urgency tokens. We haven't had the need to use them. So yeah, on the other opposite side of these time tokens is a 3. So we're at 3 right now. Yeah, and that's going to reset everybody. Okay, everybody gets reset. All their stuff gets unused, untapped. We're in good place here. I'm just making sure everything's good for that. And we're going to wrap back around. We just got the 1 cave sickle to deal with, but it's not going to be Remy that deals with it. Well, it is not. I'll show you why. Unfortunately, Remy goes first, so she's going to have to suffer the potential of a hit. So she's going to use 2 to fly, but she's also going to use a 3rd one to dodge. And the reason being is I want to get the loot. I do. I want to get to the loot. And the only one that can do that safely without dying is Remy, because she can fly. Now, if you do try to go out of an area of influence of a creature, you are going to take an attack. I don't remember what it's called. It's not called... I also got to remember things about flanking. There's all kinds of stuff, guys. But anyway, I do think, and there's a term for it. I'm trying to look in the combat actions. If you try to move past... I don't remember the name of it. But anyway, it exists. Okay, so let's do that. Let me see if I can just find it, because it's important and it matters. What is the type of attack that is called? Oh my gosh, that's going to make me crazy. Because it's not like attack of opportunity or anything like that. I'm used to D&D and stuff, so it's not that. It's something else. But anyway, it gets to attack her, because she's going to go use her flight and go 1, 2, yeah, remember the train or moving through something doesn't matter when she's flying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, when she's in flight, she does not suffer. Yeah, I'm looking at her natural flight. Make a move roll. Remy has flight during the duration. I don't think it will be able to attack her when she flies. So she doesn't have to worry about dodging. A figure with this tag, flight, ignores the effects of all terrain except obstructing terrain. While moving, figures with flight ignore other figures and do not provoke break attacks. Okay, it's called a break attack, guys. A break attack is when you move through something's sphere of influence or range of attack and do not do that. So what she is going to do, though, is she is going to drop down there and grab that last bit of loot. I think that will require her last stamina. So let's take a look and see what that loot token is before we off this final guy and get to the exit. And you do only have to be adjacent to the loot token to be able to get it. Okay, so let's see what it is. Man, I'm going to need my phone with the extra light again. My eyes are just getting old and bad, but it is what it is. Okay, here we go. It says, you find a pile of treasure, gain 2 random consumables. In addition to finding this box, finding this box will look good when getting graded. Gain 2 bonus points. Oh, we're going to get points We got to remember that 2 bonus points for our mission for grabbing the loot box, plus we get 2 common, or actually mundane, consumables. Okay, here are random consumables. Again, I'm going to do the same thing and shuffle them up. These are mundane consumable items that we get to take. I'm just going to shuffle them, trying not to look at them. Now, again, some of our people have had, like Remy, she did use one of her throwing knives. So remember, you can only have so much stuff. So I think we're okay, but we can put it in party stash too. So we're going to be alright. Let's see what we get here. Okay, here we go. Just shuffle them back in. Alright, alright, alright. I'm getting them from the bottom. What do we get? We get a mundane consumable. What is this? An enchanted arrow. We'll take a look at that. And then we get another barbed arrow. So we found 2 arrows in this box. Alright, well, I guess that's okay. Whatever. Nobody has any use for those. We don't have any bows. So I think we'll just put those in our party stash. But we do get those, and we get the addition of the 2 points for our adventure. Now all we have to do is get to the exit. This token has been found. Yay! And here we are. So I think as soon as somebody gets to the exit, I'm just going to look at the conditions of the adventure. Defend each time. Passing at the end of the encounter. Okay, the encounter ends when an adventurer ends their turn on the blue exit. Okay, so that's going to happen this turn. So let's move on. We're going to go to, there's still an enemy to fight. We want to kill it. So next up is going to be Nightingale. That's fine. Nightingale is going to use, for first part of her stamina, to go 1, 2, 3 to get adjacent to this cave sickle. It is not damaged or hurt or anything. It's just sitting there. Let's take a look at her. This is going to be one of her first. I don't think she's done many melee attacks, but she's going to do one right now on that cave sickle. Okay, here she is. Now we got the red cave sickle right here. Okay, she is going to use her longsword and her magic talisman to fight this thing. Okay, now she hasn't had to worry too much about this yet, but it is going to be a purple dice and a white die. But it says finesse. We're going to upgrade to an orange die. So right now we got a purple and a white, and then we get the amazingness of upgrading to the white die rather to an orange die because we have a light item in attachment with it. So we're using it in conjunction with it. Now, what else can she do? She does not have combo with swords, and that's really all she can do. Her thing is a spell, so she can't really do much else. But this orange die is awesome. That means that she moved. She's got 5 stamina right now. Oh, she has 4. Sorry, 4. So she can use 1, and then that's going to make 3 total that she's used to make this attack. She'll use her last one to empower it. Now, I'm doing that correctly now. So she used 2 to attack, and then she used 1 more to empower it. I may have given somebody a little slack, and they may have only spent 1 on an attack, but I don't remember. I think we're okay. Anyway, what does she get? Well, she did not hit, and I don't think she has a reroll. Let me take a look at her stuff. Let's see. She's got a juice box. That power cord does not help. Nope. I don't think she can re-roll any of that stuff. She does not. So she jumped up and missed, and that's the end of her turn. She's not the best fighter in the world, and she didn't have any way to re-roll dice when she misses. So even with that beautiful orange dice that I think we rolled the absolute, no, it has a 2, but it does have an 8 on it and stuff. It's pretty big die. We still missed. Okay. That is going to be the end of her turn. Next up we have Rook. I really want Rook to kill this thing, because if he does, then Zeke just has to go to the exit, and we've done it in 3 turns, and that would be awesome. So Rook is going to spend 1 of his stamina to move, and he's going to spend his next 2 stamina to attack with his hammers. Let's do that. Okay, so here's Rook. He's got his 2 hammers. Now, we haven't been rolling very well, so I'm a little concerned about this because all the stamina is used up. This is it. He's got 1 attack. So he is going to tap the hammer, or, oops, sorry, exhaust, to get the empowered dice. So let's see if we can kill this thing flat out. I think that might just do it, guys. That is a 13 against an 8. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're 5. We only need 1 more point of damage. His hammers do +1 physical damage for every 2 shields. There they are. There they are. So it did +2 damage. So it did 7 points of total damage, which is enough to kill the cave sickle. Boom. And it is dead. It's not on any special terrain, so it doesn't get any special bonuses for that. But it does mean that Rook gets to draw a common loot token. 8 more gold for Rook. He's gotten quite a bit of gold out of this because that's the second thing he's killed. But he killed the last of our cave sickles, and that's going to be the end of his turn. So let's move back to the board again, where we are at, and we're going to spend Zeke's 1 movement point to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He is on the exit. We have succeeded at getting through this first mission. Whew! Let's take a look and see what that does. Okay, so it says, during the encounter of the mast, you'll be graded on how many rounds it took you to finish the encounter and how many opponents you defeated. Use time tokens to keep track of how many rounds have passed at the end of the encounter. Consult the chart below to determine the score and keep track. Okay, so here's what we did. We got 12 points for being under 8 turns. It took us 3 turns. We got 2 points for picking up the chest. That's 14 points. Cave sickles. Well, we killed. One right here. We killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We killed 7. That's another 14. That's 24 points. We did not have any adventurers defeated. We did 24 points. So I need to mark that on our sheet. So remember the number 24. 24 points is what we got. Okay, now let's take a look because we won. And it says win condition. An adventure ends their turn in the blue exit. We did that. So what does it say? It says restore adventurers. Okay, well that's good because I was a little worried that I was too hasty about using Rook's mend ability because we never actually used it during the adventure. And if I didn't get to restore the characters, that would have not been in use the next turn. Though I don't know. Maybe the tokens would have carried over. I'm not sure. But anyway, we do heal Nightingale. So she got healed up. She's back to full health. And that is going to mark the end of the adventure. So we're going to move on to something called, it says continue to Wrong Way, page 8. That's our win victory? Okay, well, we're going to go to Wrong Way, page 8. Let's do that. Okay, well, I have something beautiful for you guys. You don't have to hear me fumble through reading this stuff again right now with the small fine print. Now, this might be a little loud, so I apologize, but we're going to actually have a voice actor read this for us. How beautiful is that? Now, we've already gone off to all this stuff, so we need to go. It said we're going to Wrong Way, which is right here, right? So here's Wrong Way. Here's what it reads, but we're going to play it in the app. How cool is that? Let's do it. Maybe. Come on, baby. Let's go. Today? Come on. Huh. Play. Okay. Hold on. It worked just a moment ago. I swear to God. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Okay, we're going to go back to the app. Okay, boom. This is in beta. I don't think it's fully released. Oh, come on now. Do your thing now. Okay, hold on, guys. Okay, guys. Here we go.
Wrong way. Rook knocked on the thick stone slab with the butt of his weapon. The sound echoed like a massive stone drum. No way we're getting through that. Nightingale glared at the obstruction, kicking weakly at it. Damn it! Did we take a wrong turn? She glanced over her shoulder at where Zeke and Remy watched. Seems that way. Rook lowered his weapon. Remember, this whole thing is coordinated. Hundreds of candidates are going through the same...
Oh my God, guys. I'm screwing this up left and right. This is the third time I've tried to do this. Hold on.
Did we take a wrong turn? She glanced over her shoulder at where Zeke and Remy watched. Seems that way. Rook lowered his weapon. Remember, this whole thing is coordinated. Hundreds of candidates are going through the same test. The monsters aren't wild. They have to release them for us in each area, or we'll have nothing to fight. The twists and turns are just another part of the mast. It looks like they can seal up passages with these big stone panels. Zeke dug around in one of his pockets, coming up with a cigarette. Translation: we're too awesome for this test. They want us to slow down so they can spend time on the teams that suck. Looks like it. Rook grinned as he gestured back down the way they came. I think I saw a good place to camp back there. At least we aren't sucking, Remy offered, shrugging one of her wings. I'd rather be in the group they have to slow down than the one that fails.
Okay, that was good. Actually, the voice acting is really good, so I like that. And then it says, after we read that, continue to setting up camp on page 9. So I'm gonna take this off the table for just a moment, but I'm gonna keep the app going. We're gonna go flip it over to page 9. just we're staying on the right track here. Here's setting up camp, so we're going to play that as well. And then I think there's going to be some kind of check involved here. We'll see how that plays out. Let's continue on.
Setting up camp. This looks like a good spot. Remy tried to sound enthusiastic. The cavern they had chosen to spend the night in had a ceiling at least 20 feet up. Damp stalactites glittered in the light of their glowstones, occasionally dripping water. Even so, most of the floor was dry and flat enough to serve their needs. I like it. Rook gestured ahead with one meaty hand. Only one other way out. Should be easy to keep watch. We don't have to stop. Nightingale hurried past Remy into the cavern. Wouldn't it be sweet if we were the first team ever to finish the mast in just one day? Yeah. Zeke stopped right in the middle of the cave, sloughing off his heavy pack. It dropped with a dull thud at his feet. But we won't. If we try to keep going without resting, he shook his head. Better to finish a little slow and keep all our limbs. Remy needed no further encouragement to drop her pack, tossing it to the ground. She closed her eyes, letting her massive wings stretch and flex. It felt fantastic. At least until she felt them smack something. Ow! Zeke yelped. Sorry, Remy blushed, retreating a little. I didn't mean to. Nah, it's nothing, Zeke shrugged, wiping a feather off his cheek. It's better than being slapped by Knight's Tail. I haven't done that in ages. Nightingale frowned at him. He returned her scowl with a wide grin and she turned away, looking around. Guess I'll start the fire. I can help. Rook set his bag down at his feet, fishing around for a few seconds before pulling out a set of flint and steel. I'd like to do it, Nightingale said with excitement as she took the tools from Rook. The mast is supposed to prepare us for whatever Middara can throw at us. That means no shortcuts. Rook then pulled out another set of tools, some sticks and tinder. No shortcuts? He asked wryly, holding the objects out towards her. Nightingale sighed. Flint and steel counts as a shortcut, huh? Rook only smiled back. Okay, fine, she said, swapping what she had with Rook. Then she got to work getting the fire started. Remy frowned, thinking desperately of what she could do. The other members of the team all seemed to know each other already, but they barely knew her name. She was determined to pull her own weight through the rest of the mast. I could set up the sleeping bags. Remy looked down at their little pile of supplies. Sure. Zeke was the last to separate, weapon in hand. I'll scout the rest of the cave just in case.
Okay, that tone means that we have run into a skill check. Now, a skill check, you remember we roll 2 purple dice to do a skill check, and we add a certain stat. Now we have to do. It says we have to do a perception 10 check with Zeke. Zeke is going and now scouting out the cave, looking to see if there is some loot to be had. Now his perception is a 6, so we have a very good chance of doing that. Let's continue on and see what we get. Does he make it? Come on, Zeke! Oh, easily. God, he got a 12. He didn't even have to add his stamina to it. He just nailed it. Okay, but that is how a skill check works. So, is it just, wait, hold on, it might just be 1 die. Either way, let's just say, even if it's 1 die, that would be 6 plus 6 is 12 anyway, so we did make it. But just in case, I will double check the skill checks. If it's 1 die, let me know. Again, wouldn't have mattered, we made it anyway. Okay, now, it says, if Zeke passes, continue on to check out the loot, page 9. That's right here. I'll leave it on the screen for you while we play the storyline for it. So we are going to check out the loot.
Check out the loot. Zeke walked the perimeter of the cave, scraping along the rock with a wooden pole he'd taken from their camping supplies. Where the gloom concealed, he used the pole to check for danger. There was no way to guess what the proctors might try to throw at them. Giant rats set loose into the camp while they slept, pipes to flood the cave. Whatever the Alinea Institute had planned for them, Zeke intended to be ready. He didn't find any secret passages, hidden traps, or insidious ways to torment them in their sleep. As he neared the end of the search, he struck a section of rough wall that thumped strangely when he just hit it right. Hey guys, I think there's something here, he called back before dropping onto his knees and feeling around the wall. After a few seconds, he felt a little lever give way under his touch. Zeke flinched, half expecting a trap, but instead a thin facade retracted from the wall, revealing a tightly wrapped bundle. He kicked gingerly at it, sending it rolling out of the opening and onto the floor in front of him without exploding, shooting acid or sending spikes at him through the floor. He grinned, lifting the tightly wrapped bundle of burlap and holding it up for the rest of his team to see. "Hey, everybody! I found a care package!" "Nice work," Rook called, not rising from his work around their makeshift fire pit. "They must have hidden some supplies like this for the groups who actually pay attention."
Alright, that means we have another thing we got to do here. Those little tones mean something cool. And in this case, it's this right here, reward. Party gains 4 random mundane consumables. Well, let me grab those again. And here we are. So, give them a quick shuffle and we'll take them from the back again. We get another arrow and some daggers and some more daggers. That's good. And another arrow. We're getting a bunch of mundane consumable arrows. Need to have a bow for all that to be effective. Right now I'm just going to put that in the party stash until we decide what to do next. Right now it says then to continue on to Cozy Fire, page 10. Now this is a big story element, so bear with me guys. There's a lot of story in the game and I'm going to flip the book over so you can see it, and then I'll put I'll play the storyline on the app like we have done so far. I hope you're enjoying it that way. It is more interesting, I think, to hear a professional read it than me, but let's continue on with that. Now this is again going to be the Cozy Fire. Let's go.
Cozy Fire. Remy worked diligently, not bothering to keep her wings folded behind her as she laid out the sleeping mats and put the bedrolls atop them. The others were all relaxing now after their intense day. But Remy hadn't complained. She would show them how useful she could be. Without the shelter of a tent, Remy laid tripwires across each entrance. She didn't think the Institute would plan an attack in the middle of the night, but she wasn't going to rule it out. Rook's voice rumbled from the fire circle. "That's right. Not too much," he said on a large rock, watching Nightingale. She puffed on a ball of smoldering kindling, and soon the fistful of plant fiber started to smoke. "Get it into the rest of the wood, quick!" She did, and soon the little fire roared to life. "That wasn't that hard." Nightingale wiped her hands against her shirt. "Is roughing it always this easy?" "Easy? It took you 20 minutes to light the fire," Zeke said. Since returning from the scouting excursion, he'd watched as Nightingale and Rook struggled to get the fire lit. Nightingale only shrugged and grinned at him. Another 20 minutes later and they were all gathered around the fire, resting on a ring of rubble they'd made and sharing bowls of camp stew. Remy felt much better with hot food in her stomach and a merry fire crackling nearby. Nightingale smiled appreciatively. "This is great stuff, Remy. I never thought camp food could taste this good." Remy looked away, though she couldn't keep the pride from her face. "I used to cook for my little brothers and sisters all the time. Half the time we had less in the cupboards than the Academy gave us to work with here." Nightingale looked up, understanding in her eyes. "My family back on Earth didn't have a lot either. And now we're in Middara." Zeke's voice was more subdued as he sipped the broth from his bowl. "What we had on Earth isn't what we have here. Another few days and we'll be citizens. We'll be able to leave the Academy whenever we want, buy anything we want, choose where to work." "Maybe your mom will," Nightingale muttered. "But Balthazar and Kezia? It feels like I'm just a tool to my parents here. Being royalty just makes me and you nothing more than pawns." "You're a princess, though," Remy said, meeting her gaze. "Isn't that exciting?" Nightingale scoffed. "If you like being cooped up for the rest of your life, being whisked away to a fantasy world should be about this." She gestured at the dark cave around her. "Adventure, danger, monsters and traps. Now that's exciting." Remy frowned and took another sip from her bowl. Nightingale patted Remy on the back. "Don't sweat it, Rimdog. I thought being a princess would be much cooler, too." "Rimdog?" Remy grimaced at the moniker. She hoped that it wasn't something Nightingale was going to keep calling her. Zeke shifted on his log. "I don't know. It's better than being poor." His eyes flickered towards Rook. "No offense." Rook waved his hand dismissively and kept eating his stew. "But my mom, or should I say Lady Ida Zhang," he spoke her title mockingly, "get past all her bullshit formality and politics, and I think somewhere in there is a heart. I bet your parents are the same, Knight." "I doubt that. I'll be lucky if this isn't the last time I'm in any kind of danger," Nightingale said. "It's not like it's unique to royalty," Rook replied thoughtfully. "My parents here on Middara are just farmers. They're great, but I don't think farming is for me. I'd rather do something a bit more exciting, too." Nightingale made a grunt in agreement, and there was a long pause. Remy looked up and found all three of them looking at her, and she shuffled uncomfortably under the weight of their stares. "What about you, Remy?" Nightingale finally asked. "I've heard Zeke complain about his mom 1,000 times, but I've never really talked to you." Remy hesitated but took a breath. "Well, all I have here is my father, and he's..." She looked away. "I'm not really sure what kind of person he is." Nightingale raised an eyebrow, but Remy didn't continue. She didn't want them to think less of her. Rook saved her from having to elaborate. "We should rest." He set the pot down beside the fire, completely empty. "We'll need our strength for tomorrow." Remy slept uneasily in the dark cave, tossing and turning on the uneven stone. The school hadn't given them tents, and the sleeping bags they'd been given were threadbare and offered little insulation. From the occasional shifting or grunt she heard in the dark, Remy was fairly sure her new friends were all equally uncomfortable. The next morning, Rook woke her with a gentle nudge and the smell of hot oatmeal. A quick breakfast and a little time to clean up their camp, and they started moving again. "I've got a great feeling about today," Nightingale called from the front of the group. She sounded far more awake than Remy felt. "So maybe we didn't finish early. That doesn't mean we can't totally own it." "I'm sure we will." Zeke walked along beside Nightingale. This left Remy at the rear with Rook, though the corridor was only just wide enough for them to walk abreast. At least the way was mostly straight. She supposed far fewer students would make it through the mast, if they were constantly getting lost. They didn't have far to go before the path widened, running along the edge of a dank pond. Remy reached out with one boot, touching the side. Water splashed and ripples echoed across the dark surface. They weren't alone.
All right, guys. Well, that is going to be the cliffhanger we're going to leave it at for this episode. We'll leave it with "They weren't alone." So when next we return, we'll go to the Mask Day 2, and that will be our next adventure. I hope you're enjoying me using the app for the reading of the story instead of me. I think it's better. That's just me, though. But let me know if you think that, and I'm super excited to see what happens next, guys. So take care. This has been a long episode. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate the subscriptions, and I will see you later. Please like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will see you next time. Take care.